Today we're going to go over our multi-angle bracket installation. Starting off, if you have the option to set your posts straight on from each other, always take that route. On certain occasions where you have, different angle decks, it may not be an option. So we do offer our multi-angle bracket kit. It comes in 2 packs with 1 top, 1 bottom in each kit. Tools you're going to need for this one are going to be your cordless drill, your number 2 square drive, your pencil, tape measure, and your speed square. Starting out with mounting the post mounts for your multi-angle bracket, you're going to take the top post mount, which measures 2 inches from the base to the tip. This will be the top bracket. You're going to measure down on your post to find the placement for it, 3 5/8 inch. And then to center it, you measure over, on this one we have a 3 1/2, so halfway is going to be 1 3/4 inches. And to mark out where our bottom post mount goes from the bottom of the deck, we're going to measure 2 1/4 inches up from the deck. And then same thing, we're going to center the post mount. So on our 3 1/2 inch post, it's going to be 1 3/4 inches. Now that we have our placement marked for our post mounts, we're going to take our top multi-angle bracket post mount and we're going to set it on that first line we made, and we're going to center it there. And then we can go ahead and take our pencil and then we can mark where our holes are going to be. Alright, we have our top marked out, so we're going to do the same thing on our bottom post mount. We're going to center it on our mark and set it on the 2 1/4 inch mark we also made. And we're going to mark out our holes here. So we have our holes marked for our placement of our post mounts. Then we can take our 1 1/4 self-tapping screw and our number 2 square drive, and we're going to go ahead and pre-drill those holes out. We have our holes drilled out for where our post mounts are going to be going. So now that those holes are drilled, we can go ahead and erase any marks that we've made. Alright, then we can take our top post mount, and remember that your top post mount is going to measure 2 inches from the base to the very end of it, and it's going to have 2 holes, 1 on either side. So take your top post mount and 2 of your 1 1/4 self-tapping painted screws, and we can go ahead and attach this one. Now if the top is in place, we can repeat the same step on the bottom post mount. With our post mount set on the first side, we're going to go ahead and repeat that whole process on our next post. Now that we have all 4 of our post mounts mounted on either side of the railing section, we need to figure out where we need to cut the railing section. For that, we're going to attach the top bracket to the post mount on each side. So take your 1 1/4 number 2 self-drilling square drive screw. We'll put it through our bottom post mount and line that up with the hole on our top bracket. Now we have removed the top rail from our level kit, so we're going to mark out where we need to cut this. So starting out, we'll lay it across the top of our post. Try to center it and line it up right above your top brackets. Then you will take your square, and then you will try to line it up with the very edge of your bracket. That way we can make sure that our bracket is not going to run into our baluster. We can mark that there, and we'll do that on both sides. Now we've marked on our rail where the end of our bracket is. Now we want to center our rail. So from the edge of our connector to our line that we've made, we're going to measure. So from the connector to the mark is 3/4 of an inch on this side. And on this side, it is right up against it. So we want to offset that a little bit. So to get both sides even, the easiest way is to take both measurements, add them together, divide it by 2, and that's going to give you your even measurement on both sides. So right now, we're pretty much at 0 on that side, 3/4 of an inch on that side. So we divide that by 2, it's going to give us our 3/8 of an inch that we need to offset. So from our marks here, we're going to measure 3/8 of an inch back. And then we can erase our original line. And then on this side, we can mark 3/8 of an inch over. And then we'll erase that original line. So these lines indicate where our brackets are. So from here, you measure 1 inch back on either side, and this is going to give you our cut line for each side. Now that we have our top rail marked, we're going to trace our line over to our bottom rail. So we want to make sure that we are even here. So a good easy way of doing that is just set your speed square there, get them even. And then we have our cut line here, and then we will trace that over to our bottom rail. We'll do that on both sides. Now that we have our section cut and assembled, what we need to do is we're going to take our top brackets back off of our post mounts. Now that we have our brackets back off our post mounts, what we're going to do is peel back our protective tape off of the top rail on both sides. And then we're going ahead and slip on all of our brackets onto our railing section. So top and bottom brackets on both sides will need to be put on at this point. Okay, now that we have our section resting on our post mounts with our brackets just sitting there, we're going to go ahead and attach our brackets to the post mount. We will take our 1¼ inch painted screw, and for the top bracket, it will mount to the post mount underneath. The bottom bracket will mount through the top and go into the post mount. Now that our brackets are attached to the post mounts, we're going to center our railing section. So from here on top, I have 3 3/4. We will try to copy that on the bottom. And now we have 3 3/4 there. Our section is where we want it to be, so we're going to go ahead and take our 8 3/4 inch painted screw, and we're going to attach our bracket to our rail on the bottom side of the top bracket. With our bottom bracket, if you're able to get that screw underneath on the bottom side of that bracket, you normally would need like a right angle driver and a shorter number 2 square. If that's not a possibility, go ahead and attach it on the outside of your section, closer to the end, to ensure that it's actually going to catch that railing section inside of the bracket.